Today we're going over the easiest way to get golden armor here in the tomb. No glitches, no kill streaks, no gobblegums, completely future-proof. This is how it's done. Our first step is going to be going into the Dark Ether and finding two boxes. The first box is right here next to Juggernog, and the second one is just past the Wonderfizz location underneath this branch here. Simply melee these boxes until they shatter, and you can see and pick up the head underneath. Once you've picked up both heads, go to the spawn room and interact with the statues. One of them should be near PhD, and the other one should be near the Pack-a-Punch location. And you are now ready to start the blood ritual. You need to complete 2 blood rituals, one for each of these statues. Interacting with the statue will initiate a lockdown. It will fill the spawn room with red mist, and it will spawn in, if you're doing it solo, 3 HVT enemies. If you interact with the statue near Pack-a-Punch, it will spawn in Doppleghasts, and if you interact with the statue near PhD, it will spawn in Shock Mimics. But as a reminder, you're gonna need to do both anyway. These HVTs have a ton of health, and they are definitely meant to be done after you get set up. Having a legendary tier 3 Pack-a-Punch weapon is a necessity for this. Not only do the enemies have a ton of health, but you are only at 1 health point. Luckily, the enemies will deal armor damage before they deal any health. However, if you're out of armor and you get hit, you're going down. So be sure you're full on armor and armor plates. If you're in a bad situation and you want to end the trial, go ahead and just leave the spawn room. If you're solo, all you need to do is leave the spawn room. If you're playing co-op, then everybody needs to leave the spawn room and the enemies will die and it will reset and you can try again the next round. Like I said, we're going to do this with no glitches and no kill streaks. However, if you want to use gobblegums, I will highly recommend insta-kill. Insta-kills are great for just shredding the health on these bosses. It's very, very effective, especially with the strategy that we're going to do. And of course, idolize is always a great choice, giving you a lot more security and protection to actually deal damage. Now, for my personal strategy, the first game-changing tip is to turn on your minimap. These enemies are permanently on your minimap, so as you're running through this red mist, you know exactly where they are. And if that isn't enough, go into your menus, go to interface, readability, and turn on the high contrast mode. This is depth perception on steroids. You're going to be able to see all of the enemies even in the red mist. This is going to help phenomenally when it comes to landing more critical shots. And of course, it is very wise to do this when you only have a few zombies left. Doing this mid-round can get insanely crazy, so having the high contrast mode on allows you to see the round zombie and avoid killing the round zombie. But now we need to increase our damage even further. Of course, we need a legendary triple Pack-a-Punch weapon, but we can do better by pairing up the correct ammo mod with the correct enemy. The Doppleghasts that spawn in are going to be weak to Light Mend, and the Shock Mimics that spawn in are not weak to Brain Rot, instead they are weak to Cryo Freeze. Make sure you pair up the correct ammo mod with the correct enemy because you are missing out on a ton of damage if you don't. Along with that, you want to run the Vulnerabine Augment for Elemental Pop, which increases this elemental damage even further. And as a surprise recommendation, I'm going to recommend Death Perception's Augment Death Stare. As I just found out, this can help you insta-kill enemies if they are at 10% or lower health. I know 10% isn't a lot, but in this situation, it helps out. And in the latest run that I did testing this method, all 3 HVTs died due to this augment. Do not underestimate it, at least in this situation. And of course, make sure you have all the perks that you want, Juggernog, Stamina Up, Deadshot's huge, more damage. In terms of which lockdown to do first, Doppelghast versus Mimics, I've done it both ways and it really doesn't matter to me. Doppelghasts are indeed faster, so that can put more pressure on you. However, the Mimics have a very long-ranged electric attack that you need to be on high alert for. If you're running low on armor, there is a tier 2 armor wall buy that you can replenish your armor from, and there is an ammo box next to one of these statues, which I should mention, you probably will need to buy ammo at least once during this whole process, so be sure you have enough points. So let's take a look at this strategy in action. Talking about the route that you want to run, I always go clockwise. I'm going to try to leave this footage unedited so you can see exactly when I'm shooting at those enemies and exactly when I'm running away. PhD Slider and Tribologist is actually really huge, I forgot to mention. Being able to slide away very quickly, gain a lot of distance away from them, turn around, aim at them, especially when they're far away, and just overall be patient. I'm particularly fond of this area next to the Rampage Inducer because it forces all of them to jump up, which gives them a little animation and allows me to get a lot more damage on them than anywhere else. I tended not to shoot at them very much near the Pack-a-Punch machine or the teleportal because it's just so close quartered and you just want to get out of there. But with all of these bonus damage augments with the elemental damage, I have done this multiple times without the need of any gobblegums. It just takes a little bit of patience. It really doesn't take all that long either. Once you kill all 3 HVTs, the mist will go away and you'll have have to repeat the process for the other statue and the other HVTs. Once again, just be patient, take your time, don't worry about it. If you need to, use an Ether Shroud or use a Frenzied Guard if you need some armor back even, or use an insta-kill, use a Gobblegum if you really need to. But once you complete both lockdowns, these statues will start emitting a golden glow and it will go towards the bowls, and then you can buy golden armor for absolutely free. This armor works very similar to the golden armor found in Modern Warfare 3 zombies, except in Modern Warfare 3 where that gave you like a full armor plate every couple of seconds, this one is like a slow health bar. And personally, I am in love with using golden armor with these high rounds. It's allowed me to train in the high rounds again. I know it seems daunting, but with the right augment combination and the right strategy, this lockdown can be actually pretty fun. So enjoy your golden armor, and let me know if Death Stare actually helped in this boss fight. And if you want to know more hidden abilities about death perception, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.